We're back on NASCAR 25 today with Xfinity Series gameplay as Shane Van Gisbergen at the Chicago Street Course as we are set to face off against the number 88 for Junior Motorsports road course ringer of the Xfinity Series and rookie phenom Connor Zilisch now as we are set to take the streets of Chicago where we will be starting from the 4th position. We have Zilisch on pole, Austin Hill joining him on the front row as we've got 3 stages of racing that kick off now, and immediately into turn 1, Hill launches to the lead of this race now as Zilisch drops to P2 and he's under attack immediately from myself in this number 9 Junior Motorsports Camaro, but Zilisch fires it back up the inside of Hill, and now they're going to drag race as we use up the barrier on the left side a little bit now and got to hold off pressure from the number 8 of Sammy Smith as we head into the little right bend here towards the heavy braking zone. Zilisch clear for the lead over the 21 of Austin Hill now as we'll settle in, get down to second gear. This is a really fun combo of car. Xfinity at Chicago Street Course and NASCAR 25. Highly recommend checking it out. And here we are now closing in towards the back of the 21 of Hill now, and I expect this to be a duel between myself and that number 88 WeatherTech Camaro as well as we're right up to the back of the Bennett 21 Camaro. It's all Camaros up here. You notice I turned my mirror off, and that is because at Chicago, and there's a couple of other tracks on the Xbox Series S where the optimization is just really poor so far, and I'm hoping for an update, but turning the mirror off actually fixes a lot of those issues and it makes the game look way better. So that's why you're going to notice that outside of restarts, I'm not really going to have the rear view mirror on very often here in this video now as we're to the penultimate corner already, and a great first opening lap to start P4 and have ourselves up to 3rd and putting a lot of pressure on the back of Austin Hill. It's a 3-stage race, so I'm not, eager right now to get to the front, but certainly want to keep ourselves in position and want to put some pressure on that 88 as well as we come to 2 laps to go here in stage number 1 and just biding our time right here out of turn 1. You actually can get off the corner quite a bit better than the AI. I was running at 102 difficulty for this race now as we dive up the inside of the 21, but a contact. These street courses, it doesn't matter, street course, road course, they get physical in NASCAR, and we're showcasing that here today as immediately a couple of corners later now look up the inside of the 21 trying to get the job done here. It's going to be pretty dead even into the braking zone now as Zilisch loves what he sees in his mirrors. I turned my mirror on just to get an idea, but no, the 21's still there on my right side. He's actually going to be able to stay ahead as he's going to cross my nose. We get into the back of him, do a little bit of damage on the back of that 21. He'll stay ahead as I'm sliding around now, but we maintain P3 as we'll have to reset and we'll go for it again. And now we know exactly where we need to position our car, which was on the opposite side for that left-hander, and it should be a lot easier to get that 21 of Austin Hill. So here we are on the final lap of stage number 1, and I think now we know what we need to do to get past this 21 cars. So we're just going to bide our time, wait for the right opportunity to strike, which is going to be after these this next series of corners here now that all of course go to the right. Zilisch has a pretty comfortable and commanding lead at this point now as we head down into the double right-hander now, and this is where we're going to pounce right here on the exit of the corner. Try to get the exit, got the power down. We've got the run to the right side of the 21. We should be able to complete this overtake. I don't think we'll clear him unless he brakes a bit earlier. He does brake pretty early. I get pretty aggressive on the braking, and we do clear the 21 by the time we even hit the entrance of the corner. So now we're not going to be able to run down Zilisch here on this final lap, but we can settle in and focus for stage 2. So we round the final turn down the front straightaway. Connor Zilisch will take stage number 1. We're going to come home P2. Actually, Sammy Smith would pass the 21 to make it a 1-2-3 for Junior Motorsports here in this opening stage. Hill dropped to 4th over Christian Eckes to round out the top 5. No pit stops necessary in this race, so we get ready to go back racing. Daniel Suarez up here in the mix as well in the top 10 as here we go for the start of stage 2, which also is 3 laps. Green flag is out. We're back racing here from Chicago Street Course now, and we saw the second lane get a big advantage into turn 1 from Austin Hill. I can't quite replicate it now. Zilisch able to outbrake us into the corner now, but we stay clear for P2, and we've already got ourselves in a comfortable spot there to where we are kind of free to fight with this number 88 of Zilisch, but I have a bit of an awkward apex there, and that that allows Zilisch to open up the gap to a good 3 to 4 car lengths now as we head down the straightaway. So we'll settle in for sure into this second position, and now it's all about putting that pressure on the back of the 88 here as we come through this double right-hander. Once again, such a unique series of corners. It's a shame that this track is not going to be on the schedule in 2026, so I guess this is going to be the only NASCAR game where we can have the Chicago Street Course. Now, maybe if you don't like the track, you're probably happy about that, but personally, I'm a big fan of this circuit now as we are going to roll right up to the back of that WeatherTech number 88 now, and we've got 2 WeatherTech branded cars fighting up here for the lead of this race now, as we're just going to take our time at this point now, as you can as well see the beautiful scenery around us as well here from Chicago now, as I know there's a way you can actually get off the circuit and drive in the streets of Chicago in this game. I think that's maybe a whole separate video that we could do, is like taking detours on some of the tracks in NASCAR 25 now, but that's a video for another day as we continue on here, trying to just stick with this 88 now into the final turn under the Arby's bridge now. Race for the cheesesteak now. If anyone's here interested in cheesesteak, then this is your circuit now, as we have actually gotten to Zilisch on the exit of turn 1 with 2 to go in the stage, and we're right to the back bumper again. So now putting on some pressure, another better exit than that 88, and we'll go alongside him here as we go down the straightaway through the bend, and we're gonna have to lift a little bit as I actually tag the inside wall, so we have to lift out of the throttle and let Zilisch have it for now, but we are clearly putting on some serious pressure to this 88. We just got to get the grip and the power down right here, and maybe, just maybe, we have an opportunity to lunge up the inside here into the left-hander, a 90-degree left-hander. Of course, a lot of 90-degree corners, but Zilisch actually outbrakes me there. I could have gotten way more aggressive on the brakes, but simply just misjudged it. So not going to happen there. It's once you get out of this corner, it's a lot harder to pass on this circuit, because you can make a pass right here, but mainly you want to do it on restarts now, as we're just going to have to basically get through the remainder of this lap, especially after making a bit of a slip up there. So let's just kind of get back into our rhythm now, coming through the long sweeping left-hander, and we'll come towards that final lap, of course, of this second stage. And if we come out of stage 2 with a second place result, I'll be quite content with that, because we know we're at least here with Zilisch. As I make another mistake, tagging the wall both sides of the car as we come to the final lap. Zilisch has a pretty comfortable lead, but we know right here is where we are way better than that 88 in the rest of the field, and we immediately gain some ground and into turn 2, being a little bit more aggressive on this final lap, just seeing what I can kind of find. And we had actually run down Zilisch one more time, so it's not completely over here. In stage number 2, we have a comfortable gap to third place on back as we are in that draft, and we've actually outbraked ourselves into the back of the 88. Contact there. We've done some damage to the rear bumper. He's okay, thank goodness. Not what I was trying to do on that occasion. And now we've put a pretty hefty dent in the rear bumper of that 88 car now, as we also have caved in the front end of our car just a little bit. Fortunately, that's not damage that's really going to affect us too much. So we will be just as competitive as we were before that contact now on this final lap of stage number 2. So much fun to drive this track, even on a controllers. We're into the back bumper of the 88 again, but slipping and sliding around, and the 88's going to be able to get himself comfortably back ahead into the final turn, and that's all she wrote for stage 2. We're going to get close, but not quite close enough. Connor Zilisch sweeps the first 2 stages here now, as we continue to set our sights on that third and final stage. It's been a lot of fun so far doing this race, and I've been loving doing some different combos. We did ARCA with Cletus McFarland at Bristol. That was a lot of fun. Now here we are with Xfinity and Van Gisbergen at Chicago. If you guys have any other combo ideas, feel free to let me know down below in the comment section, as stage 3 is officially underway, and it's going to be now halfway through this race. 7 more laps of racing to go, and again dead even with Zilisch into turn number 1, but a contact with the 88 a little bit wide on the exit, sliding right across the nose of the 8 of Sammy Smith. I thought he was going to pass us, but no, we slide across his nose instead and stay ahead now, as we'll likely be able to settle into this second spot again and basically just return to the duel with Zilisch that we were already having now as we come through that right bend. Love the branding. We see the Coca-Cola. You got the ABB as well. This track, of course, ABB partnership with the NASCAR electric program, and they as well did a demonstration with the electric car here as I'm going for a bit of a slide on the exit of the corner, and now we're under pressure from the 8 of Sammy Smith. Smith's going to steal P2 now as Austin Hill's just behind. We need to get back in front immediately as I'm going to lunge up the inside. I feel a lot more confident making moves on the 8 car versus the 88, of course, now given their differences in expertise when it comes to road course rating, but now you can see that Smith's not going to make this easy. He's going to stay ahead. He actually hits the wall. Hold on, we're going to still be side by side, near contact. Great racing here in Chicago. Behind us, Suarez has gotten through on the 21 of Austin Hill. We have 2 9 cars in the field here as we round the right bend here into the penultimate corner now, and now we have to focus in on running down Sammy Smith and passing him before we can even put our sights on Connor Zilisch. I think we are the fastest car here. It's just passing is not easy on that 88 car. That's the problem for us now as we round the final turn, and we are once again already on the back of the 8 of Smith. Now, how do we want to do this now? Actually give him a bit of a bump draft. I was not trying to do that. I was trying to cross him over, and now as we head down into turn number 1, here's going to be that exit we need. Do we go for the move right here? We're going to do the Supercars Van Gisbergen move. Crossed over, send it up the inside. He would have done it way more cooler than I just did as we actually lean on that pilot number 8 now, and up the inside again. We're going to do the same move we tried with Zilisch earlier, but hopefully we make it stick here through the bend, between the 8, between the wall. Great racing to be had here in Chicago, and into the left or into the right-hander. It's close quarters there, but we barely clear the number 8 of Sammy Smith. He did not make it easy, trying to help his teammate, who's a full-time, of course, teammate, stay ahead, but nonetheless, we do clear the number 8 of Sammy Smith, and we can set our sights on Connor Zilisch, not expecting any form of caution. So we are going to have to run down Zilisch the hard way, and that's just go up there and run him down. We know certain tracks where we are just downright, or sorry, certain parts of the track where we are better than that 88, but there's also parts of the track where the 88 is better than me. So we just have to maximize the parts of the track where we are better, such as turn 1, and we have been way faster. I feel like the first half of the track is kind of our strong suit, and then the last half kind of leans back into the 88. We absolutely nailed turn 1 right there. I don't think I could have gotten through there any better than I just did now as we head into turn 2, and you can see visually that gap is coming down. The rear bumper of that 88 is getting a lot larger, a little over a second and a half between myself and Zilisch here on lap 9 of 13 at this point. I think we're going to get there here within the next couple of laps as long as we keep doing what we're doing. I was being pretty aggressive just trying to get there now. We're just about within a second at this point now, as you really got to be careful on the throttle on the exit of that right-hander, and you got to be super aggressive against that wall there, into the right-hander, and then through the long sweeping left-hander. You almost want to diamond it. You kind of enter shallow, open up the center of the corner, then shallow it back out before you go into this section, into this penultimate corner now, and as Connor Zilisch is going to start seeing this number 9 get a little bit larger in his rear view mirror as we come to lap 10, 4 laps to go at this point, and the gap is going to come back down to 1.4, 1.3, and as the rest of the lap continues on, we are well within a second of this WeatherTech number 88 of Connor Zilisch. It is game on as we continue to run him down now, when we've got a very comfortable gap to the cars behind, so there's no pressure from anybody behind us, so we don't have to, maybe race careful with the 88. No, we can go for broke. We can try to win this race here at all costs and not really worry about losing much positions, unless of course I junk the car, that is, which is also a very big possibility. I just knocked the wall right there on the left side there, but fortunately we're okay. Nearly get into it again. I do scrape it now as we come towards lap 11, and Zilisch just he's kind of stabilized the gap a little bit here as we continue to just try and get a little bit closer to him. I am very much prepared to have to use the bumper to pass this 88 of Zilisch now as we come up towards 2 laps to go from the streets of Chicago. Now the city watches on as we continue on here up the elevation and to the start of the penultimate lap of this race. Now about 4 car lengths, make that 3, make that maybe 2 as we start lap 12 of 13 into the penultimate corner. Can we make this happen here now as we roll up towards the back of this 88? We've got to run. Here we go. This could be the moment now up the inside again of Zilisch. We made it work on Sam A. Smith. Do we make it work this time? Not quite. Zilisch is able to stay ahead. If I had the bumper on him, I probably would have tried to just go in there side by side and make it stick, but he had just enough on me to where I felt like he kind of had the right to that corner there. So we'll try to fire it up again and get ready to go, but I mean, we're too far back from here to make a move, so it's probably going to come down to the back half of the track, or especially the final lap of this race now, as we follow Zilisch into the left-hander right to within a couple of feet of his rear bumper now. As here we go, maybe looking for a move. Not gonna do it now. We think twice about that one as we go in through the sweeper, and we lose the rear end, and that might be it all said and done there as we make a mistake. We lose grip being too aggressive now, and now I'm all over the place at this point. Now Zilisch should have this wrapped up. Final lap, and I am now at this point just saying, okay, it's balls to the wall time. If we crash, we crash. I want to try and beat Connor Zilisch on this final lap of this race. It is maximum push, putting it right to the limit, and we've actually got the gap down to about 1.2, 1.3 seconds. Don't write us off quite yet, especially if we can get through these right-handers pretty strongly now, as we are closing into the outside wall. We're actually going to damage the left front on that one there. A little bit too aggressive, but we are still in it. We get the grip down. We continue pushing hard now. This is going to be the make or break corner right here. This series of corners, this left and right hander coming up, is going to be what dictates our opportunity. We get really aggressive on the braking right to the back nearly of the 88. Still not close enough to make a move now as we head up the hill, back down the elevation. We close in one more time, and I just don't know if we're close enough now. Zilisch has just a comfortable enough lead as we'll head back into the right hand and left hand sweeper nearly into the wall. We do catch the wall, and that's gonna do it now. Just too aggressive on this final lap. A little mistake, and Connor Zilisch is in complete control. We might as well just truck it off into this corner and try to get there one more time. One corner remains for Zilisch now, and the Zilisch versus Van Gisbergen showdown here from the Chicago Street Course out of the final turn. Connor Zilisch is going to hang on, win all stages, and he wins here in the Chicago Street Course, reversing history where Van Gisbergen picked up the win in real life in the 1v1 showdown between the two talents. What a fun combination of car and track and junior motorsports. 1, 2, 3, 4. How about that? That's going to do it for me. If you guys enjoyed, you know what to do. Let me know some combo ideas down below. I'll see you guys in the next one. Thank you for watching. Have a great day.